I'm interested on the business side of things. You're international. You've got kind of people in multiple countries. Talk a little bit about the complexities that come with that, especially when you said the sizing. I don't even know how you figure out the sizing differences country to country. Like I don't. That's kind of mind blowing to me.
Well, it's customer feedback basically. So we listen a lot to our customers. Everybody has a personal account manager, so you're always
Mhm.
talking to a person. So this means you can have a conversation about things, and they can give feedback like the sizing wasn't that. It's not like, well, we got 5 million shirts in stock, so we can't do anything about it. We can
Right.
actually change our patterns for the next time. It's better fitting.
Mhm.
But we actually started internationalizing in end of 2018, beginning of 2019.
Okay.
And so after the whole DJ merchandise, we started getting a lot of requests for small fashion brands, like these
Mhm.
brands who were too small, who were starting up, who didn't have any experience, and they couldn't go to Portugal or China or whatever to produce. So we helped them set up, and we did around 400 brands, I think, at the end. So we did a lot of these smaller hoodie and sweater and t-shirt brands, and a lot of them were actually from the Netherlands, so neighboring country. So
Yeah.
Netherlands is above Belgium, and these people were driving 8 hours to our office, which was a living room with like one little rack of clothing. Like I think they were so disappointed when they arrived. And we were sitting in the sofa, them with four people in the car, we us two, and with a little rack of things. But it happened a couple of times, and we were
Mhm.
asking them like, why you're driving here? Like, why are you driving so far? And they say like, well, we like that we can come there, decide on the collection, and there's nothing like this in the Netherlands.
Mhm.
There are no companies who are doing this. We were okay. That's interesting. And then we did a pop-up showroom. So we booked the ballroom of a hotel in Rotterdam. I think it was the first time, and we just sent all our Dutch clients like, okay, you can just hop in. We are giving some classes also on building a fashion brand. We are giving some trainings. There's a showroom. If you want to book a meeting with an account manager, just come. And they were sold out every time. So from morning till evening, it was completely full. The trainings, the showroom, the client meetings. So it
Yeah.
was a slam dunk. And at that point, we decided, okay, so if we are here, we are actually doing more business than if they have to come to Belgium. So then we decided in a positively naive way, let's just open a Dutch office. We hired someone. So one of our first clients joined the company to set up the Dutch office in Utrecht. And we started building from there. And that was the first time we actually had two locations. So then the complexity started
Yeah.
because there is a lot of communication in the hallways. Like in the hallways, on next to the coffee machine, there's a lot of things being said, like a quick question, some quick feedback because your colleagues are talking about it and you overhear it.
Mhm.
And when you're on two locations, that's completely gone. There's a
Yeah.
huge wall between that. So the only communication that moves is deliberate because
Yeah.
you want the other party to know it. So there's a lot of these nuances of this culture going lost,
Mhm.
uh, lost in translation, actually.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the biggest challenges we learned there. And then we started to start international meetings, failed a lot there in structure. And it's still a challenge. Like, how do you make it relevant for everybody at the table, but not make it boring for our people saying their numbers? How
Mhm.
do you manage all this? So this is still a big challenge. Then we also started, and this is a really big success, our monthly meeting.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's called a town hall or an all
Yeah.
hands meeting or whatever. And this is around 45 minutes to an hour where we go deeper into all the countries, what's been happening, not really numbers related, but
Yeah.
okay, there's 2 people joining here. The Dutch office moved to a bigger office building, and so on. So like everybody's up to date from the company. And so that was a big challenge. Now we are with 6 people in Amsterdam, so that team is also growing. And that goes quite smoothly. And we travel, of course, a lot. So we have from management, I would say every country gets at least 1 visit every 6 weeks.
Okay. That's good.
Somebody like 5-6 people of us are traveling often, and then we sit next to each other, just sometimes work in the same room, not even discussing everything, but just being together, having these questions, having these informal conversations, having a lunch, having dinner in the evening, just to make it also a little bit fun, and the cultural effect, because you can discuss everything on numbers, but if the culture is completely different, it becomes a problem after a while. And then in 2020, well, in mid of 2019, we hired our first Polish employee, which is Daniel, and he was actually a supplier of ours first until the company went bankrupt, sadly, because of raising energy prices, raising employee costs. It became way too expensive to do the mid-size in Poland. Like small companies and big companies are good, but mid-size became way too expensive and too complex. And then on Friday, he said, well, guys, I'm going to finish your orders, and then it's done.
Yeah.
And then we sent them, well, come join us. We need a head of production, actually.
Yeah.
And on Monday, he agreed. So he's in the central management. Yeah, he's a head of production, or head of supply chain, or well, he's management level, director level, sorry. And he runs the Polish office, where we are with 12 people now. So that became a language for the first time, because Netherlands, we all speak Dutch, Netherlands and Belgium. But in Poland, we moved to English. So English became the core language of the company. So all internal information became in English, because if a sales guy updates his CRM in Dutch and the Polish purchaser has to check something, they can't read it. So everything has to be English. And that makes it, of course, a lot easier now. If we open new countries, everything is English. So it's not multilingual, it's all English.